What's up, guys? Mr. Knows Hoops back today with another video, and today I am talking about Jdub, who has yet again taken another step towards all-star caliber, honestly, even second option caliber player in this league, averaging 22, 6, and 5 with 2 steals and a block a game, so 3.1 stocks or steals and blocks. On about 51 from the field, 39 from 3 on 5 a game, which is an elite volume. Not in terms of like a high volume, but that's an elite percentage for that volume. And then 80 from the line. And today, guys, we're going to get into how Jdub has yet continued to evolve his game at all levels. But before we get into that, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are at 954 subs. That's me. We are 46 away from the big 1K. Share this with a friend. If you know a Jdub fan, shout out to my guy, Anti-Mars. This video is for you. And again, if you guys have any videos in mind, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and I probably will cover the topic. So, without further ado, let's get into how Jdub has managed to yet again transcend his limits. So, I want to talk about the playmaking first. So, coming up here, right, you're going to get something like this. Nice, easy inbound pass, right? He knows what he's doing. But as we continue on, right, we get into the defensive formation. Great steal, right? Like, that's great. That's a great athletic read. Because you can see, like, he calls over Case and Wallace. And he goes, or no, my apologies, Isaiah Joe. And he goes, no. You go stick with Kuminga. I'll stay here. So he just stays completely in front of his man. Easy transition bucket. And that's huge. I think because this team is such a good defensive team, they're going to need to get transition buckets when they can. Not that they're bad on offense. But even here, right, you're going to get the Hartenstein pick and pop. And I love this, right? So Draymond comes over, sticks with him. They bring the extra man, and Lindy Waters just doesn't come over in time. Wiggins tries to stop the three, but instead, right, Jdub easily reads and sticks with this roll man in Hartenstein, and that's just an easy floater, right? Like, those are easy buckets, and that's important because, again, this team's offense in terms of self-creators is not a whole lot, right? And at this point, Jdub, in a way, now obviously Chet being healthy would be far preferred. But I do think that this is important. Like, at the end of the day, now you see, again, this is NBA.com nonsensory. But even here, right, he'll get the ball, he'll wait, can gather for Hartenstein. Now he's got 2 options, arguably 3. He's got a cutting man here, right? Kyle Anderson sunk. He could go back to Hartenstein, and he could get this man at the top of the screen. Catches them off the dribble. And again, the point of showing some of these assists, by the way, is not to be like, oh, well, this is what adds to his numbers. No, but it shows that he can make the read, which I'm sure some of you might say, well, he's an NBA player. That don't mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, if it was just an NBA player, every NBA player would make great reads because they have the IQ for it. Some players just don't necessarily have that, and that's fine. But Jdub is showing he is one of those players with IQ, high IQ too. And again, it steals, goes right back up to Case and Wallace. Tough bucket, right? Like, the continued ability. Now, unfortunately, looks like he got hurt here, right? But again, just transition play. Slows it down, waits, right? Isaiah Joe comes over, breaks pass. It's the patience that I think he's playing with. And I think it's important because, again, at the end of the day, right, what he's doing is just so important for this team. Like, he runs the show, right, in a way. Like, obviously, Shea's their main guy, and they play through him. But when he's off the floor or when, teams are doubling or going at him, Jdub is showing, no, don't worry, I can cover us and run this set, run this offense. I think it's so important. So I think a big reason why Jdub has evolved and continued to impress people, honestly, is because he's been showing he's a capable secondary ball handler. And he's shown that he's capable of creating for others and himself, which I think is more than crucial. And then, of course, I think one of the more obvious reasons is Jdub has yet again taken another leap as a scorer. Now averaging a career high again, about 2 to 3 points higher than last season, about 22 a game. And we're just going to look at how Jdub is getting these buckets, right? This is even with Chet here. So I think this is important because some of these buckets are how he's going to be playing, right? Transition, pull up. right? Porter sank all the way back. And Jdub's making them respect the three ball, which is important. Because again, when you have someone like Shai, who's not a bad three-point shooter, but he doesn't necessarily want to shoot the three, teams are going to recognize that. And because he's by far their best player, right, Shai, they are going to respect or not respect that shot, right? It's similar with the Giannis, right? Giannis's one-on-one defender at first is going to be sunk. He's going to be in drop. Now, it's not quite the same with Shai, but it's a similar idea of like, it's not that Shai can't shoot it. It's at times he just does not want to, which is fine. Because, I mean, again, if that's not what you're necessarily good at, that's not what you want to get to, right? Because he has his spots, and he's more than good enough when he gets there. So, again, gets past Porter Jr., and I love this, right? So, Shai kicks it out to him. MPJ gets stuck one-on-one. MPJ, now, this is actually partly on bad defense from MPJ. So, because MPJ gives up the back shoulder. His back shoulder. And by doing that, he basically says, yeah, I'll let you come to the basket. Now, mind you, Jokic is all the way out here on Lou Dort. And Russ is right here. But Russ doesn't want to foul, right? And there's still Chet right there, so he could easily just go, oh, okay, let me just bounce it real quick. And instead, he gets the and one from Michael Porter Jr. being stuck at the hip and giving up that entire lane. And again, just the aggressiveness from Jdub, I think, is important because they need an aggressive second option, right? Gets Peyton Watson on him, spins pass, and just goes right underneath before getting into Porter Jr. And that's just a tough bucket, right? But that's important because you need a tough bucket maker if you want to be a contender. And this is what the Thunder have been trying to do, right? They want to contend. And even here, right? Breaks him down, gets him to step back, and once he steps back, there's just too much space there. And again, that's just how the Thunder seem to operate so well. Because again, now he gets MPJ, gets the switch. And then what does he do right after? Just completely drive past him, right? And again, gets advantage of guys giving up that shoulder. And again, I think that is what's going to make him so great for this team. And I think, honestly, like, Chet's probably, to me, Chet's the third best player on this team. It's not that Chet is bad. I just think Jdub as a second option is just far better in terms of, now defensively, Chet just clears. It's not even close. What Chet does and brings is far more valuable. However, I don't think Chet's that good at creating for himself or others per se. And that's not a bad thing, right? That's just not some players' thing. I think Jdub is a better second option for this Thunder team than Chet Holmgren, if that makes sense. Chet might be the second most important player just because of his size, rebounding and stuff like that. But in terms of who is the second scoring option, I think it's Jdub. And I think this is why. He has the aggression to him, right? He can beat you off the dribble. He can beat you from three. He could beat you in different ways, right? Even here, like, that's beautiful, alley. And again, Jdub has the IQ, right? Presses him, presses Watson, gets past. And again, if he can continue to create easy transition buckets like this, which clearly he has, I mean, you average 3 stocks a game, you're going to be doing your part, right? Out, one more, gets Russ, and Russ doesn't respect it. And he goes, okay, word, and he takes it. I think that's what's so important too, is Jdub's scoring has become more aggressive, and he doesn't get too complacent, but it's intelligent. Like, he's not just chucking the chuck. Especially once Chet went out, you would think like, oh, okay, now he's just going to chuck. The efficiency might die. He's still really efficient. I don't think he's ever been below 50% from the field in his career, which is really impressive considering the volume literally every year has increased. So yeah, the offensive side of the ball, I mean, I think that's a huge reason why. But now let's get into the defense. So if you're going to be averaging 3 steals and blocks a game, combined, not 3 of each, we are going to need to talk about it, right? So Jdub here, this is actually excellent play by him. So I believe the man goes up for it, but what I love what Jdub does is he reads it and goes, okay, so Lou can't really do anything here, right? Like, Lou's caught. Like, this is a great read from Chris Paul in terms of that. But I love how Jdub gets behind him to intercept it. And again, just look, beautiful dime, right? In front of Castle, in front of Paul, and they can just get that offense rolling again. Like, I think, again, what Jdub does on both sides, like that poke, hate it when this happens, but that poke, right? Like, I love it because, again, he forces Trey Jones to have to put his head down. right? He's like, okay, I got to get past and not lose my dribble. But now he's like, okay, I'm standing right in front of Keldon, so you're not going to get that easy read. Okay, let's push. And again, I think this is a huge reason. When you have a guy like Jdub who's going to make easy defensive moves, he's going to get you easy offensive buckets, which then lets someone like Shea get more, rest, energy, whatever it is, so he doesn't have to worry about the burnout, right? And again, I love this read here too, because as I almost said Branham. Is it? Is that Malachi Branham? It might be. If it's not, my apologies. Right, goes for the pass here, right? But Jdub reads it because he does a good job of ball watching pause, but through like actual game. And what I mean by that is like he actually remains active, but still has his eye towards the ball. So that way he can track it and take it down. And I think, again, like that's part of the reason they're the best defense in the league. And that's still without Chet until January, I believe, maybe early February. That's a huge reason why. Because Jdub at center at times, mind you, until now they got Hartenstein back, but was getting you a block and 2 steals a game. He was creating easy transition opportunities. I think Jdub has really shown himself to be a perennial all-star caliber player. I'll stand on it. I made a video on Jdub last year. I still believe that Jdub is the second best player on this team. The most important is probably still Chet, second most. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys think Jdub is a perennial all-star type of player? Is he the second best player on the team, or second option? Let me know what you guys think down below. As always, this was Answer No Soups. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Shout out to you, Auntie Mars. Peace out.